Welcome back once again to the North American Star League Season 4 Grand Finals, live from Long Beach, California at the Center Theater. Beautiful Long Beach, California. It's been great so far. One day of play. Not quite done yet. This is our first semifinal match right now. Hero leads 3-2, but Polt is looking really strong.
Yeah, it's back-to-back match point sets where we are getting the chance to see Polt on the verge of elimination, manages to pull an incredible win. And then here too on Abyssal City, which I think is the ideal map for Polt's style. It's enough distance that he can, the Protoss can't really do that much aggression without Warp Prism, which tends to be a little bit later of a maneuver with Polt's mid-game aggression. And at the same time, there's so many different angles of attack that it's extremely tough to deal with it unless you have a lot of observers. We even saw Hero build, what, 4 or 5 observers in that last game, and only one managed to survive to the mid-game.
Polt's been doing a phenomenal job of keeping track of where those observers are, and just scanning and sniping them off at every opportunity. And when you can keep the Protoss player in the dark, it becomes so incredibly hard to prepare to receive the kind of aggression that Polt loves to throw.
You know, I mean, even Huck was talking about that, where on his Twitter, if you remove the watchtowers, there's so much more that you have to account for, so much that you have to look for. And on the last map, Whirlwind, that watchtower doesn't cover that much of the attack angles, and we saw that without that observer vision, that is the exact thing Hero needed to be able to hold it off, and he just couldn't get that vision up.
So the countdown has just expired for game number 6. We're moving on to Abyssal City, a map that was added into the NASL map pool about halfway through our season. We asked the players if there were any maps that they wanted, if there were any maps they wanted to get rid of, and Abyssal City was one of the new additions.
This is an excellent map. We're going to go ahead and take a look at it. Step into game number 6, semifinal 1 right now.
So,
guys, we are not on Metropolis. Let's take a look at this map after we introduce
Metropolis, another fantastic map, by the way. It's
Love that map.
One of my favorites. Base race Muta, fantastic on Metropolis. It's my favorite build. Just take the islands with Nidus Worms and then just make Mutas go everywhere.
Ooh, you make me want to play. Oh my god, that sounds so awesome. It's spawning.
It's terrible.
It's spawning in the right position. The man who was one game away from
advancing.
And now one game away from advancing yet again. Can he do it? It's Liquid Hero.
And Hero's opponent on the left side of the map trying to bounce back after a great game on Whirlwind, TSL Polt. The last Terran hopeful in this tournament.
You know, before we come back and look at this barracks, I want to talk a little bit about the formations that we see that are quite notable. These watchtowers don't actually cover these attack paths up on the north side. So holding this really just means you get control of this high ground pod, which is quite critical for defending this back expansion. Likewise, this high ground pod is very critical for defending this back expansion. And neither watchtower is really good for defending the other. So we generally see the player sort of splitting control over those. But given Polt's style, he will be able to snatch up both of those quite early on. And whoa! This is the first game where we see an outright Nexus first by Hero, and the first game where we see an outright Barracks first from Polt.
Yeah, and Polt is immediately going to react. He's got a great scout down, and he's just going to throw down 2 more racks. 3 racks opening for Polt. This is his tournament life on the line, Sean. This is it. This is his ticket to the finals, and he is not afraid. First Marine is out, and it's going to deny the scout. This Polt, or this probe from Hero is not going to be able to see these extra barracks. Or will it?
Hero or will it swing his way back around?
It won't.
Another Marine popping out. I honestly think this is going to make Hero feel a little bit suspect. Because, I mean, in Hero's shoes, you managed to get up. You saw that there was no gas here.
Bunker already going down in the natural expansion of Hero, so Polt is not at all afraid to try and coax a reaction out of Hero. A couple of probes being pulled off the line immediately. Great position to build this bunker, but the SCV is just too low on health. And it is going to go down. But, guys, this is a super aggressive build from Polt. You can expect to see a lot more SCVs crossing the map very soon.
What's weird about this build is that the goal is not quite to win right now. Ooh, is he going to get another one? Oh, my God. That was...
I think he also forgot to cancel that bunker, which is a small mistake.
Yeah. I mean, the real goal of this is not to win straight away with a push. The goal is to hit right before Warp Gate pops down, because you'll notice all the Chrono Boost is going down on the gateways.
What is this?
Well, this is, I guess you describe this as a abandoned ship. This looks like it's going to be a follow-up push, again, to try to exploit how late this Warp Gate is. Why 2 Zealots and a Stalker come down, a third, oh gosh, that's 4 units out right now from the gateway. So if he follows up with swift enough combat shield plus Marauder plus concussive shell, it's nearly impossible to hold off. I mean, are SCVs even being continually produced? It looks like yes, but he might even just halt that in a moment. 20
SCVs are out on the map right now, no command center anywhere, so clearly Polt has some kind of devious intentions. It's just how will they take shape? What exactly will it be? Man, this is bizarre. Reactor, Tech Lab. So SCVs and Marines already happening, so Polt is going to start crossing the map. I guess he's going to be reinforcing with Marauders.
Oh, this is a very, very weird play that we're going to be seeing out of Polt. It's going to be a combo attack. It's going to be attack number 1 right before Warp Gate ends up finishing. Very difficult to hold off, and if that manages to work, then he's going to be following it up with Stim, Combat Shield, the full works of a basic Bioforce.
Army supply right now 16-10. It's actually very even, but the SCVs complicate everything. Immediately, Hero is just going to evacuate his natural heads right up the ramp. Says, I'll just sit up here in force field all day.
And it looks like a couple of Stalkers. These are Hero Stalkers. They've been known to kill off full packs of Marines. But my gosh, is Polt doing a very meticulous job of continually pulling back. There is virtually no way this expansion is going to stay alive.
Yeah, this Nexus is doomed to fall. 5 Stalkers are now out. The question is not will the expansion fall, but it's how much will Polt lose in the process.
Oh my gosh, barely in range of the Nexus.
Yep, just perfect placement on that bunker, and Hero knows that he can't really engage that.
What a play from Polt, and he will manage to take down the Nexus. If Polt wins this game, it would bring it to a deciding Game 7 down from 1-3.
I mean, that is such a bold play to just say, I'm going for it, everything or nothing on this decision. Factory's going down. I think we're going to see some medevacs coming from Polt. He's not going to expand, Sean. He's going to try to end this game.
Wow. Absolutely phenomenal. Combat Shield must come down soon. It must. Without Combat Shield, there's really no long-term aggression you can hope to stand up with. But now that all these SCVs are coming back, Polt finally can begin putting more dudes into gas, continue to get those extra bio upgrades. This is an extremely difficult spot for Polt to navigate as well. If he retreats, the Stalkers run right past the bunker and knock down these Marines. He has to stay pinned.
Whoa, a couple of Stalkers from behind. Polt's got to be so careful. Actually, Hero's going to try to break out. Coming in from 2 sides. Will we see a force? I guess not, just Guardian Shield. These Marines are going to die very quickly. There's nothing left to repair. Hero's going to break this.
Hero manages to keep himself in the game. But Polt has an extremely aggressive follow-up. This is what is so difficult about this push. What's been going on in Hero's base? He has been forced to make tons and tons of Stalkers. Every Stalker you build eats into your tech heavily. Don't stay here, Polt. This is a dangerous spot to be in. This eats so hard into the tech count. Will he be able to stim and pick it off? He will get
one Stalker. One Stalker on 2 hit points will live to fight another day. Hero's going to just try to reposition, see if he can find a better angle to engage from. He is going to get up this ramp, but neither player wants to fight. 75 supply for Hero against the 53 of Polt, of course. Most of that is in the Harvesters. 39 probes to 23 SCVs. Polt has a big, strong follow-up coming, Sean, but Hero has so many workers. He's got such a strong economy. He's going to be able to produce a lot of units.
This is still an extremely tough push to hold off. If he can manage to deflect this one, he'll be in good shape. Combat Shield's now done. Hero's starting to realize what he's up against, so he gets the Robo Bay. He's going to need that to be able to deal with the counter swing supply block. So far, so good for Hero.
Hero making really smart moves. He's just picking off what he can. He's forcing Polt to make difficult choices. Do you engage here, or do you just let your opponent kind of sit back and chip away at your infrastructure?
Now that the medevacs are up, it's a lot easier to engage. Tech Lab, not a huge deal. He's just going to lift that, back it up. And now Hero is the one who's under the gun.
Oh, Bio so far forward, managing to get some good shots off. Might kill a couple of Stalkers. Nice force fields going down as well, but great play by Polt, lifting up in those medevacs and keeping most of his units alive. He's actually going to stim and chase right here. That's a little bit overeager, I think.
Wow, I mean, Polt really knows how badly he needs to get an edge right now. He will end up stepping up. Wow!
He has preserved every unit so far. He's been playing just phenomenal. He's going to even catch a Zealot here, and Hero's in full retreat, realizing what's coming his way.
Chrono boosting out the Colossus. This is going to be the big deciding factor. It will not have range.
It all comes down to this Colossus. 60 seconds until the Colossus is out on the map. With him in play, this gets so much harder for Polt. If Polt can get into the natural of Hero before the Colossus is out, he's inevitably going to do huge damage. Hero Chrono boosting the Colossus, knows this is a critical moment, Sean.
I don't know if he can actually defend this, and it looks like, is Polt actually going to expand behind
He's going to drop.
Oh my gosh, he's going for the multi-pronged attack. Yet again, we see Polt, the master of the mid-game, trying to force his opponent into a poor engagement. Here it begins.
Oh, that's really good force fields, but incredible pickup there by Polt. Loses only a single Marine at the same time. The drop is unloading in the main base. How is Hero going to defend this? He has to split up his units perfectly. Where's the second prong of the attack? Polt's got to get active once more on the bottom half of the map. He's going to lift up and evacuate. Oh, but 4 Marines left behind. Here comes Polt once more into the natural.
It's round 2. Are there any force fields left remaining? It looks like the answer is almost none. More and more kiting. Polt is just trying to chip away at the unit count for Hero. Units continue to flood out of all these gateways. Hero is getting extremely close to stabilizing. If the medevacs fall,
medevacs go down, but there are reinforcements at the same time. The drop going back into the main base. Polt very aggressive on 2 fronts. It's a really good attack at the front, killing a lot of sentries. The sentries will all fall.
Oh, the Colossus doesn't die.
What a great save by Hero. Lifts up the Colossus in the Warp Prism. 74 supply remaining for Polt. He lost the fight in the natural. He has now lost the fight in the main. What does he do from here?
Another Immortal popping out right now. 2 Colossi.
Well, and this is the answer. This is it. This is the last stand of Polt, the final attack.
Well, it looks like that factory is giving a limited amount of vision, but a critical amount of vision. A single Viking sweeping up to this top side, seeing if it can get an appropriate angle on that Colossus. It's a large arc. This is it. If Polt wins, he pushes it to a deciding Game 7. If this attack fails, then we will have your first finalist, Hero.
The force field goes down. The SCVs are going to be blocked out. Hero meets Polt on the ramp and answers in a big way.
God.
Everything will fall, and Hero has done it. 100 supply over 40. We have our first finalist.
GG! Liquid Hero keeps the Protoss hope alive, guaranteeing a PVZ final.
Bold play by Polt, bold play by Hero to march out and meet his opponent. And it was the absolute right decision, landed the force field. The SCVs were a non-factor.
Wow. I mean, you think about how that game started. Polt instantly popping up with an aggressive 3 racks in his main base, tried to bunker down at the natural expansion, tried to follow it up with a Marine play, kills off the Nexus. And what does Hero do? Just waits patiently until he can kill it off very profitably, and then just expands, and with that absolutely perfect reaction timing, and even the Warp Prism to micro the Colossus, Hero played an incredible defensive final match.
Just amazing. Hero advances to the grand final, where we know he will meet a Zerg opponent, either Sort of or Violet. Guys, that last map brought to you by LAByte.com. If you live in the Orange County or the Los Angeles area and you're hungry, and you don't want to get up, just go to LAByte.com, guys. Over 1,000 restaurants serving the Los Angeles and Orange County areas, and LA Byte will deliver their food to you.
Again, incredibly thrilling semifinal match. Liquid Hero, known so much for his attacking capabilities, showing near flawless defense in game number 6 to take the win against TSL's Polt 4-2. That does mean that Polt, though eliminated from the tournament for a chance to win first, he is still playing tomorrow in the 3rd, 4th place match.
Should be a great match indeed, guys. I'm sure that Hero is now sitting on the couch with Zoe. Let's pass it off and see how he feels after that exciting 6-game victory.
He does indeed sit next to me. Congratulations. Those were incredible games. And yeah, definitely worth a lot of applause. So, you seem to still be exhausted and overwhelmed. I mean, that was just incredible for everyone to watch. So let's talk a little bit about what we saw. One of the most incredible games for me, like played by you, was Game 3 on Entombed Valley. Where you did like the whole hallucination play and forced the Viking productions. You still lost that game, but it was still very, very interested in played by you. I would like to know that in that very game, you chose a little bit of a weird, or to me it looked a weird timing attack. What did you want to do with that?
뭐 미리 준비한 건 아니었는데 그냥 상황 맞춰서 한번 그 환상 거신하면은 성훈이 형이 속으실 것 같아서 했는데 속았는데 제가 하면서 질 수 없다고 생각했는데 너무 무리하게 멀티 먹으려다가 수비만 하면은 이겼었을 것 같은데 거기서 좀 실수를 많이 했던 것 같습니다.
So I didn't have anything prepared. And to be honest, I thought Polt was gonna know the Colossus were hallucinated. And what caused the loss was he took the wait, was it fourth base or the third base? Yeah, fourth. And he was supposed to defend it, but I guess he said he was too greedy. And I just made mistakes. I was supposed to just defend it, and it would have been a great victory. But yeah, overall, I was just too greedy at that point.
Are you crying or sweating? I'm not quite sure right now.
Sweating.
Okay. Just asking. That would have been very dramatic. So let's talk then a little bit about like your general that matchup. It used to be considered to be one of your worst ones, at least statistically. It's never been like really top notch. You were known for playing a really, really strong PvP. You were known to be very strong against Zerg players. But seemingly within the last few months, you've been crushing those Terrans. Have you been practiced that, like specifically?
네, 예전에는 좀 테란전이 좀 힘들었는데 저그전보다 요즘에 또 테란전이 강해지니까 또 저그전이 힘들어지더라고요. 그리고 뭐 특별히 막 연습한 건 없고 그냥 하면서 좀 깨달았던 것 같아요. 뭔가.
So I didn't particularly practice a lot, but my PVT got a lot better, and I do feel that as well. So my TVP got better, but now my ZVP is getting worse. He's just saying that, and just overall, I'm practicing, and it feels that I overcome my weakness, so I feel good now.
All right, so then one last question to you. Who do you think is going to win the next one, Violet versus Sort of? What will be your prediction there?
바이올렛 선수가 이길 것 같긴 한데 솔트오브 선수가 엄청 잘하시더라고요. 그 고석현 선수랑 하는 거 보니까 그래서 그리고 저그 대 저그이기도 하고 그래서 잘 모르겠어요. 박빙 될 것 같아요.
So first, it's ZVZ, because I don't know. Second, Hyun sort of beat Hyun, like he did not expect it. So I would really want to cheer Violet, but to be honest, I don't know who's going to win.
Right, and we will find out who's going to win in that very last game for today. So stay tuned and get ready for Sort of versus Violet.